At first, shame on all our National Assembly members that were seated there where another song of allegiance was played. Shame. And if we truly had a country, if we truly had a republic, by now, those in their constituency should be sending them letters to show how disgruntled they are, and if possible, recalling them. It is that bad. We're losing a country with sycophancy. But it's not only Tinubu. It happened during Buhari's administration. Remember how people were wearing Buhari's insignia on their body? Now everybody's wearing his cap and all of that. What level of madness have we got into in this country? It's a whole new level of madness. What level of madness are we doing? At the Hollow Chamber, by playing that song, a partisan song, they desecrated the Hollow Chamber. And they must account for it. Let's go back history. Do you know what caused the first English Civil War? The king tried to overreach himself in the parliament, and the parliamentarians kicked against it. King Charles I. It led to the emergence of Oliver Cromwell, the Lord Protector of England. The parliament is for the people of Nigeria. Parlement. The meaning of the parliament is parlement, to speak on behalf of the people, not to do political sentiment and hypocrisy, or listen to songs of allegiance posed to a certain political party. And there were some other lawmakers there, they couldn't talk. How would they be able to talk? Maybe we're telling Labour Party lawmakers, when they were part of those that collected the 160 million for cars, will they have the nerve to speak? We're telling lawmakers from other parties to discountenance that they didn't do it. But how will they be able to talk? We forget in a hurry, Oji. We forget that there are three co-equal arms of government in this country. The judiciary, the legislature, and the executive. President Tinubu is the head of one equal arm, the executive. The legislature has a head of his own arm. But we have a legislature that don't even know themselves, and they're kowtowing to the executive. They are worse than copy and paste now. They are worse than rubber. They are hype men, as Big Wig called them. Hype men. So shame on all of them for not understanding that they are a co-equal arm of government in this country, and they are singing an allegiance song
Well, all right.
to the executive. You can see where we started.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was important.
Yeah, good morning, fellow Nigerians. Good morning, Africans. This is Smart Mado Ajaja, the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International. The question today is, where is Nigeria actually headed? Nigeria is spiraling out of control. You saw that show of shame in our National Assembly that is supposed to be independent. They started singing these songs 2 years before the 2023 election about a criminal's mandate. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. Bola on your mandate. Bola on your mandate. All Bola on your mandate we shall stand. So the mandate had been given years before now. And look at where our country is going. And still some people don't want to see, or they don't want to hear variant opinions about the direction the country should head. Now, listen to one more shocking thing from his wife. Yes, listen. And hate speech directed against a very strategic ethnic group in Nigeria, a group that built Lagos, that they want to use racism to uproot from Lagos. Here, Oluremi Tulumbo, the wife of the rogue hijacker of Nigeria. Here.
Sábì tí wàá lọ bímọ fún Igbo. Ṣé kí n lọ kó Obieze wá? Obieze ilé ti gbà bọ̀dé. Olórí Obieze ilé ti gbà bọ̀dé. Ó ti lọ mú kámẹ́rà wá lọ plé ẹ̀ ní sí ẹ ti gbà bọ̀dé. A máa jogún yín ni. àwa la máa jogun yín àgọ́ wa ló máa dádì yẹn a máa jogun yín láìsí pé yìí nìkan ni aráàlú Haúsá wà ń bí àgbà wọn láyè Kàlàbá wà ń bí àgbà wọn láyè ẹ wá ń bèrè pé báwo ni tí wàá ṣe jẹ Ọlọ́run ò ní gbà fún yín.
You heard that? You heard the translation. Racism in Nigeria. And this is very important, especially for some of us who live in the diaspora. I live in Houston. There are thousands of Nigerians living in Houston. Imagine the state of Texas bringing up regulations and laws targeting Nigeria in United States of Africa, United States of America, targeting Nigerians, most of whom have U.S. citizenship. Yes, some mostly acquired U.S. citizenship. And you hear back in Nigeria that your brothers and sisters in the United States are being treated with such disdain, not because they are criminals, but people who are there doing their best, creating job opportunities, contributing to the local economy, and they are being chased about. That is what is happening to the Igbos in Nigeria. Sadly, by some of their compatriots with whom they share one country that is supposed to be driven by one destiny. That is Nigeria. So today, what we are trying to do is to set the record straight about the ownership of Nigeria. And in this case, with special reference about the ownership of Lagos State or Lagos. Now, for those who have ears, let them hear. This nonsense cannot continue the way it is. Otherwise, if some people cannot assert their citizenship of Nigeria, what is the use of Nigeria as a sovereign entity? Hear that? So why are some people holding Nnamdi Kanu for agitating for the state of Biafra? Why are they not asking why the agitation has been on for a very long time? Have they addressed the question, some like this one slapping us in the face, where some citizens cannot express their citizenship of Nigeria anywhere they find themselves in Nigeria? And this situation is worse in the southwest of Nigeria and the northern flank, the northern north of Nigeria. It appears there is an elitist conspiracy. It's not just that it appears, that is a fact. There has been that elitist conspiracy to hold a section of Nigeria in captivity. And you see the reason Nigeria cannot be united or has not been united. Nigeria will never be united until we remove this logjam. What I've come to see is that majority of Nigerians, some, let me say not, but a critical section of Nigeria's corrupt political elites and those who find themselves in the traditional institutions, they don't understand the difference between a kingdom and a nation state. All kingdoms that were pre-existing before 1960 died on October 1, 1960, when a new nation state called Nigeria emerged. But some people sadly don't want to deal with this reality. And that is why our country has been struggling. Yes, Lagos is a Nigerian city and not a tribal kingdom of anybody or group. Hear this. Anybody who still comes with this obnoxious argument and attitude after the independence of Nigeria in 1960, that Lagos, which was never a Yoruba land in the first place, in the pre-colonial era of kingdoms, is now suddenly owned by the Yorubas, needs his or her head checked, because such a person is so sick to not understand that every pre-colonial kingdom that existed before Nigeria's independence proclamation became officially and constitutionally dissolved and became the property of a sovereign territorial Nigeria, of which every Nigerian became a stakeholder, like they became stakeholders of every other part of Nigeria on October 1st, 1960. Therefore, nobody has any right to question anybody's presence in that city or any other part of the Nigerian territory until Nigeria is dissolved. Those, especially the lazy, high-profile, divisive elements driven by inordinate tribal nationalism, fueled by mischief, jealousy, and hate economics, who still claim the ownership of Lagos after Nigeria became independent on October 1, emphatically, October 1, 1960, are troublemakers who should be arrested and prosecuted for high treason. Nigerians, did you hear that? So we need to come off of this rubbish. Do you hold a Yoruba passport to travel outside Nigeria? Do you hold an Hausa passport to travel outside Nigeria? Do you hold a Fulani passport to travel outside Nigeria? Do you hold an Igbo passport to travel outside Nigeria? So if a Nigerian or Nigerians cannot be anywhere in their country within the territorial space of Nigeria, what is the use of one Nigeria? And then what is the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is still being held in captivity for speaking up? The Biafran agitation is a cry for help. Now you guys are putting it together like you did. That's how it started in 1966. When some people, elites from the north and the same southwest, yes, came together to declare a war, a genocide on one territory. How do you fight a civil war? By beating down a people in their own homeland, and you call it a civil war? That was a genocide. You people want to start it again. You know, this time it is not going to work. So, no Igbo man. See, I hear people telling me, some of my friends call me, take a position and stuff like this. No Igbo man should leave Lagos. No Igbo man should leave Kano. No Igbo man should leave Kaduna. No Igbo man should live anywhere. No Igbo man should live Delta. Because some people who are hateful, some people who are jealous, some people who are lazy want them to leave so that they can occupy their properties, demolish, and land grabbers. These are the people doing this. It's either Nigeria is one or Nigeria is broken. So everybody goes his way. Yes, it is either we make Nigeria truly one or we break it apart and let everybody go. You can't tell me that I'm a Nigerian and I cannot be in Lagos. I cannot be in Kano. Look at my hand. In Kano, 1991, I was stabbed. They killed my friend. They stabbed him to death for being a Nigerian, for exploring his country. This nonsense has to end. And the beast that hijacked the Nigerian presidency is an xenophobic, like his predecessor, a terrorist, an Igbo hater. So why do we cry Why do we spoil for war? When Nigerians are being murdered in South Africa, we shout xenophobia. Why we are doing worse in our own country. This nonsense has to stop. So what I'm saying essentially is to Nigerians, if you find yourself anywhere on the territory of Nigeria, don't allow anybody to hoodwink you. Don't allow anyone to intimidate you. Be law-abiding, but know that you have a right to self-defense when you come under attack. It is a universal doctrine, and it is a biological response to threats. Nobody, no Igbo man should be afraid of being in Lagos unless you are no longer Igbos, unless you are really truly useless. You have the number. You can actually, if the demolition that they are doing, if you believe is illegal, you acquired your property the way it's supposed to be, you have all your documentation, keep them, because judgment will come upon the people who are doing this today, and you will be paid back for all that you lost. Yes, it is okay. Go back and develop your Southeast, your homestead. Don't develop it because some people are pushing you away from Lagos. Develop it because that is the right thing to do. Develop it to repopulate that place with the type of diversity that Lagos has. People are not asking questions about what drives people to Lagos. All the seaports in Nigeria are deliberately not made to work because the only one that works is the one in Lagos. If they had opened seaports in Delta, seaport in Calabar, seaport in Port Harcourt, seaport dredging the Niger, who is coming to Lagos? What is it? What is special about Lagos? There is nothing special about Lagos, except that it is a part of Nigeria. So this economic deprivation that has led to this type of stampede that people politically complain about Lagos should be ended. Let's liberalize Nigeria. Let there be a port in Warri. Let there be a port in Calabar. Let there be a port in Port Harcourt. Let there be a port in Uguta. We have all these ports undeveloped because some people want to politically emasculate Nigeria. Now, you governors from this Southeast and the Niger Delta, what are you doing? Always crying cap in hand because you can't provide the type of leadership. Why can't you build ports? Let's build it unless somebody come and say that we cannot build it. Take that bold stand and do it. Some people who don't want Nigeria to progress, some people who don't want the good of Nigeria, the building of ports, siting of airports has become a political thing. They are not looking at the economic advantages. So the Igbo people are business people. They are shippers, they are handlers, they are forwarders. Open up Nigeria. That is what we have been asking. Let there be seaports across Nigeria. Lagos will become desolate. Who wants to be in Lagos? I don't want to be in Lagos in the first place. For me, I choke whenever I'm in that place. Who wants to be in Lagos? Except by choice. Most of the people in Lagos did not go there because they want to. Because most of the access to opportunity in Nigeria are put there deliberately to retard the country. Now, let us open it. That is what we are asking. So, Ndi Igbo, I'm in Lagos. When you got to also, don't run. Fight back if they fight you. Fight back. You held Nigeria for 3 years. You held Nigeria for 3 years. If not Britain and their collaborators, you could have defeated Nigeria. So, and it was a tribal war. It wasn't a Nigerian civil war. It was a genocidal war. So this time, 50-something years after, you should be ready to fight everywhere in Nigeria. If Nigeria decide, if these criminals come again with their killer machines, fight back anywhere, be it in Sokoto, in Kano, in Lagos, Ibadan, everywhere. Be ready to fight back. Nigeria belongs to you. And the truth is that the Igbos are the more Nigerian than any other person, any other Nigerian group. They have contributed most to the development of Nigeria. They have put their blood there. More of their blood is the one spilled in Nigeria. So why are you running? Nobody should be running. Nobody should be running away from Nigeria. Assert your citizenship. It is your right to assert the citizenship of Nigeria. Not 200 Bola Tinubu should make you move. I know there is an active war going on, a genocidal war going on in Igbo land. Yes, we know that. Fight back. Fight back. This nonsense has to end. And for those Nigerians who keep quiet as these are going on, because it favors you one way or the other, because those who are driving this hate and killing are from your places, and you keep quiet, your time will come. And history will judge you so badly for your criminal conspiracy of silence. This nonsense has to end. Seriously, this nonsense has to end. Goodbye.